go through all of that. So unlike some of the bank rescue programs where taxpayers have been paid back, it's not likely taxpayers are going to get back anything on this one.
And it's still, it comes from us. It's our money.
Absolutely.
That's the point
you are
I
right.
wanted to make.
You are right.
Peter, have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you. Thank you for that news. Let's get some reaction now from Los Angeles realtor Connie DeGroot. Connie, thank you for coming in. I want to deal with the big kahuna, which actually in your written notes before we came to this segment, you put out there that home ownership is not a right. Now, about a year ago, a lot of people were saying that about health care. But it became a right by federal edict from way up on high. Might the same thing, might all this be preliminary to the White House announcement that home ownership is a right?
Well, we got a problem. How are we going to pay for this? How can we afford this? Are we now going to just take care of everybody? I mean, there's no guarantee. You make an investment. I lost a lot of money in the stock market. Nobody's bailing me out. It's just a risk. And if you buy a property and you overspend and your debt is too high, then you're supposed to pay the consequence. Where's responsibility here?
Right.
We can't afford to go this route. And I do not think that it's a right.
The market has worked these things out. There's some very ugly foreclosures that happen, but as a result, the market begins to clear itself and the huge inventory begins to clear out, and then the banks start to get rid of the houses that they have in their inventory. So, I mean, these things, if you let them go, they do have a tendency to work them out. Sometimes the workout is ugly, but it happens. Whenever the government tries to micromanage this thing, we get in trouble.
Exactly. Also, there are people that have been waiting, sitting on the sidelines, being responsible. Actually, most of the homeowners are very responsible, and although they've lost equity, they're not going to the give me window asking for help and borrowing. So there are new opportunities at these lower, more affordable prices for many people that have been just building up their savings so that they could buy their home. You know, home ownership, it's the pride of ownership. We need to go back to that. What pride is there if you own a home and you haven't put any money into it?
None.
You really don't own that home.
If you don't have skin in a game, you're not going to keep it up. You're not going to be as concerned about payments. And speaking of payments, what about the perverse incentives of this? Does this program encourage people not to pay?
Absolutely, you don't qualify. I mean, you know, it's like sort of like, let's not, you know, I'm in Vegas right now, and it's sort of like I don't have to pay for 2 months in order to qualify, so maybe I'll just take a trip to Vegas, which is a great idea, have some fun, come back, get my principal reduced, and maybe also my monthly payments reduced. It's a bad incentive. It sets a bad precedent, and there are also younger people that are watching their families go through this, and it's sending a terrible message. I mean, what are we going to do? Take care of everybody? If they're in trouble with their mortgage, again, in your last segment, you said that there's credit card problems. There's problems making your car payments. Where does it end? And we can't even afford it. This is just a terrible idea.
Where does
terrible
it end?
idea.
We end where we begin. Where does it end? And I'm willing to make a bet that eventually we're going to hear from this administration home ownership is a right, just like health care and all the other things, because that's where it's going to lead. I don't say it's true, and I don't say the public will buy it, but I bet we hear it from some quarter. Connie DeGroot, wonderful to see you again, Connie. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Well, next, Google, and we're going to see what